Hey, how's it going? I just want to give you my thoughts on this Nikon D100. When did this thing come out? 2002? Something like that. 6 megapixels, 3 frames a second. Trying to think of some of the other specifications. It uses a CF card. It uses these old batteries, these lithium ion ENEL3Es. I think you can still buy these on the internet, probably on eBay and Amazon. The camera itself, a lot of people are starting to use these old DSLRs nowadays, or there seems to be a trend in the last couple, at least the last couple of years. I've got at least a dozen Nikon 35mm cameras that I collected over the years. I've been shooting since I was a teenager in high school, and that was in the mid-80s, early to mid-80s. And I've got at least a dozen, or about a dozen Nikon DSLRs. I'm not heavy. I don't have any mirrorless cameras. I have, like, a Nikon bridge camera. I guess that's mirrorless, I guess. Or an electronic shutter or something. I don't know. But anyway, I like these old DSLRs. It makes you slow down. It makes you think about your composition. With limited megapixels, you're not going to be cropping a whole hell of a lot, for sure. So you kind of got to get your composition spot on. I hear a lot of people. I call it whining, bitching, and complaining about ISO and dynamic range. But you got to remember, I came up on film. The highest ISO I can remember being able to purchase on the regular was 800. And I think, yeah, when the digital stuff started coming out, they were, they were getting into the 1600 ISO, or we used to call it ASA back in the day. Now it's ISO. But anyway, I don't have a problem. I mean, I wouldn't use, any of these things that have a high 1 and a high 2, or a low 1 or a low 2. I wouldn't use any of that. But as far as, if it goes from 100 to 6400 or whatever, if it's there, use it. How clean do you need your picture? I mean, what are you doing with it? Are you blowing this thing up, to make a wall size portrait? Or are you posting it on Instagram or Facebook? That's the thing. What are you doing with the camera? How are you going to use it? And that's what I do. I keep this around the house, and I just take pictures of my dog mostly around the house, and just little oddball photos, I like it. Like I said, it does make you slow down. I got this little 35 to 70 little Nikkor lens on there. I like it. You know, there's lots of other ones you can see, you know, what you got to work with here. You got you know, your ISO and your quality and your white balance up here on your dial, as well as your modes. Um, Also, you have all your, I mean, it's all familiar Nikon stuff, you know. I mean, they were, you know, I think they got this whole design, you know, laid out pretty good pretty early. I mean, you know, some of the buttons may be swapped around in certain places, but the overall design of these cameras has been the same pretty much the inception. I think this was designed after the F100, their film camera. Um, but the overall design of it is good. You know, it turns on right away. See, boom, you automatic. You can take a picture right now. Let me see here. I think, and you're gonna have to wait. Now that's your screen. Of course, it's small. It's probably 2 inches or smaller. But if you'll notice, you know, see, that's what I'm taking. Yeah, see, no, just home stuff, right? But if you look, it's got information on there. I shoot all these in RAW, and then you can edit it. See, you got your diagram right there, so you can see. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you're not gonna be able to check focus with it, but you know, I'm not really doing that anyway. So, see, there's your histogram. So, you know, boom. I mean, what else do you need, right? You know, it even shows you you know, your highlights and your lowlights. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I set all that up in the menu, but because I want to, you know, I want to know all that. That way, I can look at it real quick and, you know. And then there you go. See, another one. So there you go. I like it. I mean, like I said, you know, if you want something, you know, with a 3-inch screen, then you're gonna need something, you know, like this, a 7,000, something a little bit more modern. Even though this ain't all that great either. This is old as crud, but it's, you know, it's got a bigger screen. But as you can see, again, everything laid out. They got this shit down real early. You know, they really did. Nikon, you know. I know some people don't like Nikon. I do. You know, I started with them early. I had a couple of Canons, and then I switched to Nikon. And once I went Nikon, I never went back. Right? But anyway, those are my thoughts on the 100 in the low megapixel. I mean, it takes good pictures. You can't, if you was to take a picture with this here, take a picture with this here. This has got 16, and you were to post them both on Instagram or Facebook or whatever social media or whatever. You're not gonna be able to tell the difference in the photos. I'm telling you. You know, not on any of these social, because all that stuff's gonna be compressed anyway. You know. Now, if you want a big something poster size, then yeah, you're gonna want, you know. But this was adequate back in the day. I mean, it's still adequate. You could probably do you know, 1020, 1116, whatever the format is for these. You could probably do that with, you know, 6 megapixels. I think I've seen that done on the regular. So But anyway, that's about it. I don't think I have a whole lot more for you at this point. I'm just wasting oxygen, so I'm gonna sign off and leave you to it. These are good cameras, and there's no need to toss them away. I mean, you can't. I mean, you're not going to show up and do, a professional shoot with it. But they're good, just to capture moments. I mean, good cameras, and they're cheap. And these lenses are cheap. You can find these autofocus lenses real cheap. There's a lot of them. So there you go. There she is, the old D100.